A good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's a beautiful 19th April 2024. Come to the Crusty Up podcast. Houses, Hamas, and Halal. Yes, some of the outrageous claims by Justin Trudeau and his housing plan, Hamas protests at a public school in Toronto, and Halal Mortgages that have been breaking the news waves in the past few days. We'll look into that and try to get some concise facts for you. But needless to say, it just seems coincidental based on the government budget. Listener viewer discretion is advised. I might swear, I might smoke cigarettes, make some funny faces, all that good stuff. Please stay tuned.
Hit it, sweetheart. Because I am hard, you will not like me.
Yes, sir.
There is no racial bigotry here. Here you are all equally worthless.
From Western Canada, this is the Crusty Canuck podcast, a Canadian veteran's point of view on political, social, economic issues and life. Here's Crusty.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Crusty Canuck podcast. I'm your host, Crusty Canuck. This episode 272, Houses, Hamas, and Halal. Greetings all. Hope you all had a pretty good few days since my last episode. It's now the weekend, so it's time to wind down, relax, grab yourself a beer, cup of coffee, rub your feet, rub your belly. I don't know, whatever rocks your world. By all means, do it. Spend some time with your loved ones and do some extra chores around the house if need be. Also, this podcast is brought to you in part by and supported by the Veterans for Freedom Network, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. Veterans for Freedom Stand 2. And also Veterans for Freedom TV coming soon. Stay tuned for updates on that, to this podcast, and we'll get you sorted out. So like the title card said, ladies and gentlemen, Houses, Hamas, and Halal. So Justin Trudeau, our beautiful prime minister, right? Of course, you heard me rant and rage about the last budget. It didn't seem anything substantial. It was just an excuse to spend more money, to put us all in the poorhouse, and for the sake of virtue, all that other good stuff too. One more reminder too, ladies and gentlemen, if you like to hear what you see, please click like and subscribe. Share this podcast all over social media platforms. Don't hesitate to share. Don't hesitate to comment. Give me a thumbs up. And just a reminder to my fan base on the tube, if you find yourself unsubscribed, please resubscribe. Apparently there's a lot of shadow banning going around, especially with a lot of Canadian content out there, not even just with Canadian vets, but a lot of other just civilian speakers, people that speak their mind. So just double check your notifications to see that you're still subscribed to this channel. Anyway, carrying on. The Prime Minister come up with a plan in regards to housing there too a few days ago. Something like the plan is supposed to be 3.9 million homes are going to be built under his government by 2030 or 2031, I believe. Okay, good luck with that. If you've not been paying attention to the inflation and how much lumber and materials have costed the past, we'll say 5 years, because of all these carbon plans and implementations that the government's trying to do to save the trees, to make everything clean and hospitable again, it's going to be next to impossible. Now, I'll read along here from City TV CP24. I don't usually use a lot of those mainstream connections in regards to the Liberal Party, probably because a lot of these mainstream elements have had a lot of funding come from the Liberal Party too. But CP24 did a pretty good editorial on this. And I'll just cue this up for you, ladies and gentlemen. Just one more time, too, if you like it here to see, please click like, subscribe, comment, give me a thumbs up, too, to my rumblers out there. Same for you lot. Don't hesitate to give me a comment as well, too. And try to share this stuff all over your social media platforms. But like I said, Justin Trudeau and his infinite wisdom in regards to housing plans, you and I can just tell, ladies and gentlemen, that it's just lip service. That's all it is, just lip service. It's got nothing to do with looking after us or helping us out or helping the little guy or the middle class or people trying to get into the middle class. It's just Justin Trudeau hanging on to whatever piece of power that he has left. Okay. And we'll cue this up here for you. Get this on the go. So like I say, this from City TV, right? Trudeau reveals Liberal plan to build nearly 3.9 million homes by 2031 amid the housing crisis. Okay, and this is by Meredith Bond from City News. The past 12. Federal government unveiled its housing plan ahead of next week's budget. They say it will nearly 3.9 million homes built by 2031. Good luck. Trudeau was joined by Finance Minister and Deputy Prime Minister Chrystia Freeland to announce what they call the most comprehensive, ambitious housing plan ever seen in Canada. Well, a lot of financiers from the 1980s and 90s beg to differ, you bunch of putzes. Anyway, I'm digressing. The housing plan's three main goals are to build more homes, make it easier to rent or own a home, and help Canadians who can't afford a home. Trudeau said they want to ensure no Canadian pays more than 30% of their income towards their home, in an approach that focuses on increasing the housing supply to bring down prices. Well, I hate to burst your fucking bubble there, potato guy, but the average Canadian is paying anywhere, I think, from about 50 to about 63% for our homes. So that's a big what if maybe there, Pats. Putsy boy, right? Quote unquote, it's a Team Canada approach that provides incentives for provinces, territories, builders, and nonprofits to come on board. Well, you're scaring away investment, Justin, with all your regulations and red tape, and your gender parity BS. The plan includes already announced $6 billion Canada Housing Infrastructure Fund, as well as providing an additional $400 million to the $4 billion Housing Accelerator Fund to incentivize an additional 12,000 new homes in the next 3 years. Okay, so 12,000 new homes next 3 years. Are you going to try to do 3.9 million? Like fucking liberal math here. My God. Trudeau said they would also increase support for workers in the skilled trades and create apprenticeships opportunities for the next generation. Well, it's not up to the government. That's up to provinces. But needless to say, the construction industry will need reinforcements to get all this work done, said Trudeau. Canada is working hard under our government to pass legislation that is about workers and about supporting the kinds of good, clean jobs that the future is going to bring. Good, clean jobs. Well, start cleaning up your act. Freeland said they will be revealing more of their plan in their federal budget announcement to ensure fairness for every generation. Oh, fairness for every generation. Now pay attention to that. Fairness for every generation. Okay. My nieces and nephews, they're going to have kids that are going to be paying this debt off well after I'm gone. Well after you're gone too, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, Jesus Christ. For those who can't afford a home, the federal government said they will provide $1 billion to the Affordable Housing Fund to invest $250 million to address the urgent issue of encampments and homelessness in communities across Canada. Well, if you're ensuring all these things and 8 out of 10 Canadians are getting paid, Justin, because, the carbon rebate should look after this, right? You would think. Oh, my God. Some people's kids, I tell you. Scott Atchison, Conservative Shadow Minister for Housing and Diversity and Inclusion, said the announcements made Friday don't change the fact that his strategy has doubled housing costs over the last 8 years. And is right? So you're going to put $250 million into this fund, and yet it's about $1.6 million, the average home. So maybe about 240 homes you're going to get ready to go, ready to rock and roll. For fuck's sakes. Anyhow, I'm not going to read the rest of this article. I'll leave this in the description for you guys to follow. Ladies and gentlemen, you can decide amongst yourselves which is adequate or not, but it's just tongue in cheek. It's nothing but hearsay, lip service, you name it. That's all it is. It has nothing to do with benefiting people. It has nothing to do with helping people in this country. Their bottom line is they want to rack up all these resources and materials so they can get paid, and their lobbyists can get paid, and their backers can get paid. It's that simple. That budget did sweet FA for you and I.
Stay updated and follow Crusty Canuck on Facebook, Twitter, Gab, Telegram, YouTube, and Podbean. Subscribe today and donate at crustycanuck.ca.
And that's right, ladies and gentlemen. You're back to episode 272 of the Crusty Canuck podcast on this beautiful 19th of April, 2024. Houses, Hamas, and Halal. I'm your host, Crusty Canuck. And one more time, if you like it, hear what you see, ladies and gentlemen, please click like and subscribe. Share this content all over your social media platforms. And please give comments, thumbs up, all that good stuff. Just get the words out there. Help us Canadians, especially as Canadian vets, get our words out there so Canadians and like-minded individuals from all over the globe can see this and decide on their own, as every viewer should. And I'm digressing here. So back to the whole houses, Hamas, and Halal. So I have a video queued up here from a Rob Boutlier. He's quite the commentator. He has quite the following on Facebook. And he'll summarize the whole housing thing for you all. Just pay attention here. And I'll share it with you, ladies and gentlemen. You might have to adjust your volume accordingly. But he makes some very, very good points when it comes to timings and what have you. So I'll cue this up for you. And you decide, ladies and gentlemen. I'll leave this in the description too for you too.
They are going to be responsible for building 4 million homes by the year 2031. This is the same government responsible for ArriveCam or ArriveScam, the app that was originally pegged to cost $80,000 and ended up costing taxpayers $60 million. It went 750 times over budget. Now Trudeau is claiming that in Canada, where there's 200,000 homes finished annually, which would equate to about 545 homes per day, he claims that his government is going to increase home production by 1,000 homes per day. He claims they're going to boost it from 545 homes per day to over 1,500 homes per day. That's what he claims. Does anybody in their right mind think that a government that could not coordinate building a functioning app without going 750 times over budget and having it fail could ever increase housing builds by 1,000 per day? 1,000 per day, starting now to 2031. I've got a question. How much do you think the net worth, the wealth of his liberal friends will increase by 2031? He claims they're going to build 4 million homes, but I have a feeling they're going to build their wealth.
Yeah, exactly. It's who's going to get rich off of this? Who's going to get rich off of this? It has nothing to do with you or me or the people that are waiting for a home or people that are waiting for a mortgage or people that are waiting for the opportunity to get a nice place to live. Krista Freeland had a video out there where she was bragging about some tiny apartment in Victoria, BC that was worth $1,600 a month, right? Saying, oh, we're going to help the less fortunate and the middle class. Oh, the less fortunate. Making it sound like you're putting your little sparkle and pixie dust all over the place. What, do you fart and the world smells fucking roses? Come on. Like just the sheer arrogance in the presentations that we are getting from these leaders too. There's also rumblings too about Dominic LeBlanc, one of the shadow ministers in the Liberal cabinet. Of course, a good friend of Justin Trudeau. They've known each other since they were kids, right? And there's rumors of him, trying to vie for the position of prime minister from now until the next election is called. Because there's also rumors of Justin Trudeau stepping down too. Who knows? There was a link I had set aside for that, ladies and gentlemen, but I'm sorry I lost it. But this is just all speculation here. But needless to say, you would think that they intentionally want to screw with people. You would think that how can these individuals with all these degrees, some liberal backbenchers and some liberal members have had education at Harvard. Yes. Some went to Yale. Some went to prestigious schools because they were born in a situation where they had a silver spoon up their nostrils. A few lines of cocaine here and there. Well, sounds like a party we're not invited to. So whatever plan they've got in the works, and if they actually think this plan of theirs is substantial, it's not. We're going broke. And anybody who's making more than $250,000 in a business, which is deemed as capital gains, is going to have to pay. Which also means that if you have grandparents or if you have people that are well-to-do in your family and they bequeath something to you in their passing, and if it's worth more than $250,000, guess what you're going to pay? So if is that their plan? And everyone, some people earn something and they take, we earn, they take, we earn, they take. That's what I get out of it too. And I don't mean to dwell on the whole budget thing, but we're seeing how things are coming together like Lego. Click here, click there. Who's going to get rich? Who's going to get slapped and tickled? Who's going to get this? Who's going to get up the chuff? Chances are the middle class working tax-paying people of this country, all colors, all creeds, all shapes and sizes, is going to get it 2 times Tuesday. And maybe 3 times Sunday. Who knows? Right? I'm sure my American friends, my listeners out there, I can relate to this, to some of the ridiculous prices out there and the perks and privileges that are given to senators and Congress people alike. Little perks here, little advantages there. right? You're working 40 plus hours a week. You're working 60 plus hours a week. In some cases, there are a lot of couples out there that are working 80 hours a week just to keep food on the table. And yet the ass clownery I have shown you and bestowed on you, submitted for your approval, proves proves a lot of conspiracies about the rich getting richer and the poor getting poorer. And people that are working for a living are getting poorer every day. Why? Right? Why is that? Right back after this.
Stay updated and follow Crusty Canuck on Facebook, Twitter, Gab, Telegram, YouTube, and Podbean. Subscribe today and donate at crustycanuck.ca.
And you're back, ladies and gentlemen, episode 272 of the Crusty Up podcast for this beautiful Friday, April 19th, 2024. Houses, Hamas, and halal, ladies and gentlemen. So you've heard me ramble on the past 50 minutes about houses. It's just a joke. You and I both know too. And some of the construction people I've spoken to about this, a lot of it is nothing but more than municipal and provincial red tape. Supply and demand, whatever, the money is not here. If people have the money, they got to pay for it. And then there's just more regulations, more BS. So all these great individuals that support this party that's running this country are putting their faith into fucking liars. It's that simple. They don't care. Anyway, moving on. We're talking about houses, Hamas, and halal. Here's a video from Rebel Media in regards to Hamas protesting. And we've all seen it in the news, ladies and gentlemen. We've all seen how all these individuals in every major city in this country is waving the Palestinian flag and supporting Palestinians. But you're also seeing a lot of Hamas supporters. Now, just to remind you, Hamas is like Hezbollah or like the Taliban, like ISIS, like Al-Qaeda. They're terrorists. They're terrorists. They're pieces of garbage. They're filth. Okay? And I don't care what ideology you believe in. If you use religion as a tool to harm and kill people in the name of whatever God you believe in, then I think you should get a new religion. That's just me, though. I don't care if you're Christian. I don't care if you're Jewish. I don't care if you're Muslim. I don't care if you're Buddhist. Fuck, I don't care if you're a Scientologist praising Xenu's return. I don't care. But if you use any of those faiths to hurt and maim and harm innocent people, then your religion's garbage, as far as I'm concerned. It is. Right? I remember going to Sunday school as a kid and being taught about God and Jesus and the Virgin Mary and Christmas, about the birth of Christ. But I also remember reading pamphlets and literature about paganism too, about the winter solstice and how they kind of contrasted and got together in some weird conspiracy. But needless to say, I like Christmas. I like it. I like getting together with family and friends. I like certain holidays. And there's nothing wrong with having a Christian holiday. Nothing wrong with having a Muslim holiday or Jewish holiday. Just respect each other in the process, right? But you're seeing the contrast here when it comes to Christianity, when it comes to Judaism, and when it comes to the Muslim faith. Okay? They're all based around the Holy Lands of Israel and Palestine and those areas. Pre-Roman, during the Roman Empire, all that good stuff. So basically, they all come from the same cloth. So what's the problem? Who knows? Who knows what hatred they teach each other, right? I've went to school with kids that claim to be Christian, and they're the worst pricks that I ever worked with, or I ever hung out with as kids. I served with military members that were great soldiers and claimed to be Christians. But sometimes you'd catch them doing something really effing stupid. And you'd think to yourself, is that really Christian of you to do that? I've met Muslims that are great people. I've also met Muslims that were terrible people too. I've met Jews that are great people. I've also met Jews that were not so great people. And I've met many of atheists that were not so great people either. So it's a matter of your own personal character, ladies and gentlemen, regardless of what branch of faith or religion or denomination or how you pray. I'm a firm believer. You pray in whatever you want to do. You do what you got to do. You do you and have a good time doing it. But the moment you start hitting people, taking their stuff, it's time to get another God or gods or whatever faith you want. Anyhow, here's a video from Rebel Media. David Menzies did. He did it at a school called The Grove. It's about 4 hours long, so it's relatively new. That's a little recent tidbit here. It's about 6 minutes long. I won't talk through it. You guys listen and assess for yourselves based on his reporting and what you get out of it too. And it adds to the whole indoctrination of our youth thing. And it all adds to the whole propaganda machine that's plaguing the Western world as we speak, ladies and gentlemen. So like I said, you decide and judge from there. Adjust your volume accordingly, ladies and gentlemen.
Pro-Hamas demonstration taking place yet? Or I don't know anything about the demonstrations that are going on. How about the 3 R's? How about teaching the kids reading, writing, and arithmetic? David Menzies for Rebel News here in Toronto. And folks, I'm standing outside Alexander Muir Public School and the Grove Community School. And we were tipped off by parents that every Tuesday around 2 o'clock, so in other words, about an hour before school formally gets out, that some of the parents with students at the Grove Community School, where they were coming by and they were pulling their students out of the school. Now, for what reason, you might ask? Well, if you can imagine, it was to stage pro-Hamas demonstrations. This is a Tuesday today, and we were hoping to see it with our own eyes. It looks like there is no demonstration so far, but as you can see, we do have photos of children brandishing the Palestinian flag from previous demonstration. So what is the deal? What's going on here? Well, first of all, here's what you need to know about the Grove Community School. Back in 2009, BlogTO described it as, quote, what happens when you mix environmentalism, social justice, and community activism?
Now look at that carefully, ladies and gentlemen. What happens when you mix environmentalism, social justice, and community activism with elementary education? You get Grove Community School. No, you get indoctrination. You get molding useful idiots to your liking.
With elementary education, you get the Grove Community School. As part of this process, the school will establish an open and collaborative community where students, teachers, parents, and community members will help determine its guiding values, principles, and curriculum, end quote. Folks, keep in mind, the Grove Community School is junior kindergarten to grade 6. So environmentalism, social justice, community activism. How about the 3 R's? How about teaching the kids reading, writing, and arithmetic here in this woke school in the Toronto District School Board? That doesn't seem to be a priority. Now, I did phone the principal to get his take on it. He never returned my call, but the parent who tipped us off shared with us a memo he sent out about those pro-Hamas demonstrations. I'll read it for you. We have been made aware that a walkout led by parents in our community may possibly take place in this coming Tuesday, April 2nd or Thursday, April 4th. It is expected to take place off school property. It's important to note that the Toronto District School Board and the schools are not involved in organizing this walkout, nor are we in a position to permit it or stop it from occurring. And I can tell you, I reached out to the spokesman for the Toronto District School Board, Ryan Bird, and he basically said the same thing in a statement that he emailed to me. But, you know, I just wonder, would the school be so laissez-faire if the student walkouts were, against vaccine mandates, or if they were in support of the Freedom Convoy of some 2 years ago? I really wonder about that. Also, you have to wonder about the parents who are yanking kids ranging from junior kindergarten to grade 6 out of a school to do a pro-Hamas demonstration. Does an elementary school-age child even have any understanding of the current conflict in the Middle East? I mean, it is absolutely baffling. But like I said, there is no demonstration today. Oh, yeah, because we have kids out now. I need you guys.
Oh, for crying out loud.
We're not putting any kids on camera, sir.
Protecting people. Stop it.
All around this area.
So
make
okay.
sure that we're not getting any of the kids on film at all.
Do you know if there's a pro-Hamas demonstration taking place yet, or?
I don't know anything about the demonstrations that are going on.
Okay.
That's all I know.
Are you a teacher here, or?
Yes. So I'm coming over to say that we cannot have any of the cases in the background.
It's our policy. Well, it's about the school, so well, that was interesting, wasn't it, folks? Someone who, I think he said he's a teacher.
Okay, so you can't have any kids in the background. Okay, we don't want kids in the background, but you bring them out in the public eye for a protest. Yeah, some people's kids, eh?
Here, he's more concerned about the school being in the background of our report and claimed to know nothing of the pro-Hamas demonstrations taking place. It's kind of funny. He's more concerned about, us practicing journalism than elementary school age children in support of Hamas. I think it's very telling of the times in which we live. And it's simply this: whether you're an ideologue on campus or a marketer on Madison Avenue, it all comes down to this: get them young, get them forever. And how sad is that? For Rebel News, I'm David the Menzoid Menzies. Folks, as we've seen in the streets of our great Dominion going back some 6 months, the hatred being spewed by people, some of whom aren't even citizens. They're here on visas, they're foreign students, and you hear chants of genocide. It is despicable. It is something that is beyond the pale. And we think it's time for those people to pack their bags and get going. You don't belong here if you're going to advocate harm or death to an individual or a recognizable group of individuals. Please go to our petition, deporthamas.com.
Yeah, that was David, the Menzoid Menzies, from Rebel Media, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, interesting contrast. You've heard me talk about this before. The interesting contrast where it's okay to protest this, but it's not okay to protest that. It's okay to speak out against this, but it's not okay to speak out against that. Oh, don't you dare show up with that flag, but here you can show up with this flag. Right? It's right there in black and white. It's right there. It's right there, submitted for your approval every day. Turn on television every time you read a newspaper, or you go online to get your news, or if you get from whatever social media platform. The contrast is there, staring us in the face every day. Total effing buffoonery. Total fucking shit sandwich.
Stay updated and follow Crusty Canuck on Facebook, Twitter, Gab, Telegram, YouTube, and Podbean. Subscribe today and donate at crustycanuck.ca.
And that's right, ladies and gentlemen. You are back to Crusting Up Podcast, episode 272, Houses, Hamas, and Halal. I'm your host, Crusty Canuck. And one more time, ladies and gentlemen, if you like and hear what you see, please click like and subscribe. Share this content all over your social media platforms. Give me a comment, thumbs up. Let me know you like it by giving me a good thumbs up there, too. And pass this all over your social media platforms, too. Don't be shy and don't hesitate to ask me a question or two, whatever. My contact information is my description. And if you feel like donating, please donate. All my support links are there in the description as well, too. Please donate if you can. Help a guy like me out. I got to pay off a furnace. Help my wife with that, too. So that's my biggest concern right now. But, I'll keep the podcast up and running for free. I'm not going to demand cash, but every little bit you can donate helps a lot. Anyway, carrying on this episode, too. Now, I talk about halal. There's a lot of speculation going on with the federal budget in regards to halal mortgages. Now, I do have a link here I'm going to put up, but it's too social justice warrior for me, right? Now, I'm not condemning anybody who pays for things based on faith or pays for things in name of the religion. However, the way the federal budget worded it, from what I understand, is that there's favor going on. Now, the housing crisis is an issue for everybody. Doesn't matter if you're black or white. Doesn't matter if you're First Nations. Doesn't matter if you're Asian. Doesn't matter if you're male or female, gay, straight, bi, pan, whatever the abbreviations are trendy now, whatever buzzwords are out there to control people's lives. Okay. But from the way the whole halal mortgage was presented, now, the way I look at it is about being fair. If the federal budget is going to sit there and tell people at the federal budget who put the federal budget together and talk about fairness and equality and all that good stuff, I don't believe that anyone should get a break when it comes to buying a home. We should all pay the same price. We should all pay, and I'm not saying the exact same price dollar for dollar. I mean, we all have to go the same privileges. We all have to go the same route. My wife and I, we had to see if we qualified. We had to get a private lender, but we still qualified. And because of paying off certain interest and paying off some of our debts, we qualified to get a better mortgage. And that wasn't based on religion. That wasn't based on faith. That was based on what we earn and spending power and what we can spend every month. Okay. Now, I personally don't care where anyone comes from, whatever country they're from before, or whatever heritage they present or believe in or promote. That's fine. Canada, North America is based on immigration. It always has been since the Vikings hit Newfoundland, since Christopher Columbus, to the first Europeans, to British colonialism, French colonialism, Spanish colonialism. It doesn't matter. Okay, we are all immigrants. But this country has built a lot of things based on principle, based on faith, based on treating other people accordingly, and proper fairness. Now, I'm not going to condemn anybody who wants a certain deal with a mortgage or a certain perk or privilege that comes with some mortgages, or if you get a private lender, or if you inherit some money, fine. Considering if you inherit money, you're going to be taxed on that now anyway. If this budget passes, we're all going to get screwed. Hasn't passed yet, thankfully. Knock on wood. But when I look at something like the halal mortgage, okay, why isn't there a Jewish mortgage? Why isn't there a Christian mortgage? Why isn't there a Buddhist mortgage or a Sikh mortgage? Hell, why isn't there a Scientology mortgage too? In the name of Xenu, I give you a mortgage. You know? So when I'm looking at this whole speculation about it, and if a government is going to invest time and effort into a halal mortgage, then they might as well invest time and effort in all other mortgages too, for all people. It's that simple. But one can speculate too that the only reason the federal government is doing that, it's because of buying votes. The exact same tactic they used when they did the carve out for oil in Atlantic Canada, certain parts of Quebec, where they would forgive certain loans, where they'd forget, not even implement the carbon tax in some spots. And now with this. So, ladies and gentlemen, I put it to you to decide. You know me well enough. I'm not a prejudiced person. I don't care what you believe in or how you do it. Just do it well. Just don't hurt people and take their stuff. It's that simple. But if the government's going to sit there and preach about fairness and equality, then you be fair to everybody. That simple. Anyhow, ladies and gentlemen, I've been Crusty Canuck on this beautiful 19th of April, 2024. Weekend is here, so I got some housework and stuff to do. Get that sorted out. I'm going to clean my truck, do some dishes, do some vacuuming, all that good stuff, run some errands, and just enjoy my days off and just to relax and get my head together. And I hope you guys get your heads together too. Just take some time to relax your family and loved ones and just reflect and just try to show some personal gratitude for what is there and what is still available. And we will find the light in this manufactured darkness. I'll be around again on Sunday for another episode of the Crusty Podcast. I wish you all but good things. I wish you all but all good things. Sorry, I had a long day at work. I wish nothing but good things for you all out there, ladies and gentlemen. And do what you can to help you out in these trying times. Look after your friends, your loved ones, help your neighbors out the best of your ability. Like I said, I'll be here on Sunday. So check out my store, check out my links in my description. And I want to say thank you again to my new subscribers out of Germany, Britain, Israel. What else did I see? I saw some in Romania, United States, especially my American friends. You know, good to see you. My new Canadian subscribers and everybody else who has checked out my show in the past week. Thank you all very much. And keep subscribing, keep sharing and liking and commenting, all that good stuff too. Double check your notification bell to make sure you're still subscribed. All that good stuff. And I will see you Sunday. And like I always say, ladies and gentlemen, humanity and merit wins the day. Take care, and I'll see you Sunday. Bye for now.
Hit it, sweetheart. Because I am hard, you will not like me. Yes, sir. There is no racial bigotry here. Here you are all equally worthless.
This has been another episode of the Crusty Canuck podcast. Stay sane and thank you for listening. From Western Canada, this is the Crusty Canuck podcast.
Mama said I had a face for radio. She also told me I can get a mortgage for Zeno, too. Oh, by God.